Amen.
No matter how many cartoons you have seen that have demons running around like they're heroes, it's a lie. Pure, 100% unadulterated lie. Parents, we're going to get into that. You're going to see how this stuff has been introduced to your children. That Santa's okay, he's friendly, he's kind, he's not going to destroy you, he's not going to kill you through just cartoons. You got to understand that the enemy, he has to go through a door with us, and it's the flesh. Let's break some stuff down real quick. How many of y'all have a clear understanding of what the flesh is? A lot of us should. The flesh, in a nutshell, for all my youth and for everybody else who may not understand, is literally that part of us that says, I can live the way I want to live, I can live a good life, I can go to school, I can go to college, I can get married, I can have all the money in the world, and I can do it without dying. That's literally, in a nutshell, what the flesh is. So what happens is when the flesh starts operating like that, then it creates a product, which is called sin. And sin is basically missing the mark of what God has set up for us. Do you understand when I was asking you to stand up and say you've been wonderfully and marvelously made? And that's a mark that God has placed in your life? But what Satan wants to do is basically say, you're nothing. You're nothing. And I can prove it. I can prove that's what he's saying to you. James 1:12 says this, blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him. That's a serious scripture. But then, here's the deal with what Satan's trying to do. If you go to James 1:14-16, it says this, but each one is tempted when he's drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Then when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And then when sin is full grown, it brings forth death. Do not be deceived, my brother. Young people, you need to hear this clearly. No matter how many of these silly-fied rappers, I said silly-fied, that's the only way I can really describe them. Some of these movie stars, some of these folks that's supposed to be role models are telling you that Christianity is a byproduct, there's nothing real about it and all this other stuff. You need to understand it's a trap. It's a trap. Because if Satan can get you to a point of following after the flesh, then all of a sudden you start dying spiritually. There's two types of death. There is the physical death, in which you die, your body shuts down, brain functions, heart functions. But then there's the spiritual death. And the spiritual death is worse than the physical death. It's worse. And for most of our young people, you may be saying, okay, if spiritual death, I mean, at least I'm alive. Not in God's eyes.
All right.
Walking dead. And now imagine not only if you living in the flesh that you're dying, but you got that attached to you. As a young person, you guys, we often say as older people, well, we're going through the same thing. We go, no. Some of this stuff is brand spanking new. Stuff that we've never seen. And Satan has the audacity to come after you, you, and you. You want to know some of the stuff that he's using to go after our kids? Church, y'all want to know this? I'll show y'all some of the stuff that the enemy is literally using to go after your kids. First and foremost, I'm going to give you all a breakdown of some of the stuff that the enemy is using. Number one, everybody knows that Harry Potter is coming out real soon with the so-called last movie. What you got to understand is right here itself on the actual title is the satanic sign of Satan. When Harry Potter is attacked by the main villain of the character, he puts a satanic sign on his head. And Harry Potter actually draws his power from this satanic sign. The books have become required reading in some of your schools. And now your young people begin to recite incantations that are coming from witchcraft. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was a book that was written by a very powerful Christian by the name of C.S. Lewis several years ago. Very powerful series, but he had a friend. Well, he once was a friend by the name of Philip Pullman. Philip Pullman and C.S. Lewis were once atheists. But then when C.S. Lewis became a Christian, Pullman thought that he had lost his mind. So whatever books C.S. Lewis wrote, Pullman wrote an antithesis to it. Recently, back in several years ago, there was a movie that came out called The Golden Compass. Anybody remember this movie, The Golden Compass? There's a series of books that he calls his darkest materials, and the second movie that's coming out is called The Subtle Knife. Let me give you a quick synopsis of what this movie is about. Basically, it's about going off to kill God. The whole book is about basically this little girl walking around with animals. You know, has anybody seen the movie? You remember seeing the animals that were walking with them? You know what they were called? Demons. They were written in their own English language. D-A-E-M-O-N-S. As a way to fool everybody else, because if you read it another way, folks will be like, hold on, you walking with demons? I don't know about that. But the subtle knife is them creating the weapon to kill God. This is also required reading in some of your schools. Fan County, Clayton, DeKalb, cartoons such as Naruto, one of the biggest franchises in America right now. Recently, I did research on this particular cartoon and find out that there are demonic forces that are being brought up by the characters. And what's crazy is that some of these demonic forces have what they call 9 tails. The 9 tails describe the power behind them. Anybody remember what Jesus was whipped with? A cat of 9 tails. And these characters draw their powers from demon forces. The TRYY series. In the beginning, most people thought it was innocent. Vampire falls in love with this woman. But the Holy Spirit showed me something. He said, do you know this book was written to find young girls who don't know who they are? And they put themselves into the character of this young lady. And basically what happens is that now this young lady, if you've seen the movie, the second one was the one that really brought out what was going on. She fell so in love with this vampire that literally when he ran off to go kill himself, she started having nightmares, screaming at night. What you don't realize is that there was a spirit attached to that vampire that he passed on to her. And now that spirit was drawn him. If you're watching the movie, he always keeps showing up. And every time he shows up, she was trying to kill herself. This has become one of the most popular books amongst teenage girls from the age of 11 to adulthood, 27. Y'all also know, let me back up to Harry Potter. You do know that the Grand Wizard in Harry Potter was a homosexual. The writer of the book said it in one of her interviews that he's homosexual. That's why he's after Harry. He's created a bond with Harry. And this stuff is being taught to our kids. Some of this stuff is just a graduation into something else. Your kids start watching Naruto, they move on to Full Metal Alchemist. This is one of the shows that come on late at night. When your kids are waiting for you to go to sleep, they turn the TV on, called Adult Swim, and Full Metal Alchemist and the Boondocks show up. Full Metal Alchemist is basically a show about 2 kids who are practicing witchcraft. And the mother shows up, and the spell goes wrong. It kills the mother, blows off the arm of one of the kids, and it traps another kid into a metal armor plate. And the only way that they can fight, they have to use witchcraft. And they're drawing their power from demon spirits. Let's not even get into the Boondocks. There's enough stuff in the Boondocks that by the time you finish watching this movie, you watching this show, the N-word just won't leave your head. One moment they calling one person the N-word, and the other moment they calling all the women the whole show. Graduation, because literally MTV decided, man, we got all of this, let's go ahead and put in Skins. Skins is basically a show about 13, 14, and 15-year-olds constantly having sex, taking drugs, and they're pushing homosexuality and lesbian acts. The show got so bad that they're now considering it pornography. For the time's sake, we got to keep going. Video games. If Satan can't get you one way, he's going to come in another way. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, in the beginning, it appears as if everything is fine and dandy until you get to the hidden realm. There's a hidden part of this in which you go into an airport and kill all of the people in the airport. Children, babies, elderly, you kill everybody in the airport to get out. And they give you a time limit to kill everybody in the airport. This game at one point was only about $1.2 million, but when everybody found out about this hidden part of the game, $7.5 million increased just like that. Because all the kids want to kill everybody in the airport. Silent Hill, Silent Hill. I had a personal experience with this, playing this particular game. That's for time's sake. Played this game in the middle of the night one night, stopped the game, went to sleep, and heard spirits walking around in my house. We were getting ready to move from an apartment, moving to another home. This game had freaked me out so bad, I took it and destroyed it, got rid of it, but the spirit still stayed. This spirit, before we left our apartment, stood by my wife at her bedside. And she woke up looking right at it, and it told her, I'm glad y'all not gone yet. A game. A game. A game. Just like this game, demonic spirits. Dead Space is another game in which they actually use the church. This particular individual has gone crazy, and he's created this church that are run by demons. And so you have to run through and kill all the demons in the church. But the whole time they're pushing the church, the church, the church. A blatant slap in the face. Devil May Cry. The Devil May Cry was created as a game. All of the villains are actual names of biblical demons. And here's the worst part. In order for you to defeat the demons, you have to become a demon yourself. Because that's the only way you're going to get your power. This is being given to our kids, people. You might be saying, what does this got to do with Python? Because this is how it starts. This is how it starts to wrap. And the more you get into it, the more this spirit wraps around its victim. We already talked about some of the symbols. Remember back in the day, party like a rock, party, everybody was doing this right here? Demonic symbol. Had been introduced through music. Used to be heavy metal, then all of a sudden heavy metal and hip hop joined together because the spirits behind it figured out this is the quickest way we can get you. Let's band together and we snatch them all up. Now your youth are walking around with skeletons on their clothes. Let's not even get into the pants hanging down. Let me give you a quick tangent. Y'all know that when back in slavery time, if they wanted to identify slaves, what they would do is get rid of the belts and stuff, make them hang their pants down, put tattoos on their back and on their arms. So they would hide the tattoo, but then all of a sudden, when the slave master wanted to identify who they were, they pulled the pants down and moved the sleeve. So that's why when you see girls with tattoos on their back and guys with their pants down, that same spirit just made itself up to this time. We're not even going to get into hip-hop. Let's get cleared up. You understand that rap and hip-hop are two separate entities. Rap is not even really, rap is just another word for something that had been used all the way back in the 30s. And they just call it, it's an acronym for rhyme and percussion. But then hip-hop decided to take it in, and that's when the demonic spirit started grabbing hold to it. Introduction to the Illuminati, introduction into Gnosticism, introduction into all these types of things. Let's not even get into tattoos. If a slave owner wants to grab you, he often used a tattoo or a piercing. He often used a tattoo or a piercing. We've already talked about music. You're talking about groups like Young Money. One of the people in there right now, Nicki Minaj, who right now has basically moved up so quickly into the realm of music. And eventually she's getting ready to team up with Lady Gaga. And they're going to start pushing the lesbian movement. They've already started. In fact, Lady Gaga was there when they did the law, when they peeled the law of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. She was one of the main people pushing it, along with Nicki Minaj.